Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, Lord of the Flies, picture poems. These are topics that I'm going to talk about when I teach middle school and high school students. I want to teach them in ways that are unconventional. We want to see Macbeth not just as a warlord who wants to be king, but as a devious, villainous person who's just eaten alive by his ambition and his crazy, crazy wife, who's even worse than he is, Lady Macbeth. So what we do with these, except for the picture poems from Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, and Lord of the Flies, is make a debate. Was Macbeth right to do all the killings, to do all of the warring and trying to petty intrigues in the castle in order to be able to become king? And then the fate comes true when Burnham comes to Dunsinane and all the soldiers come up like trees, surround the castle, and kill Macbeth. Lady Macbeth commits suicide. Was he right to want to be king? Did he claim he was the rightful heir? Or was he a punk gangster who wanted to overtake the throne? Kind of like the punks that surrounded our Capitol building on January 6th, claiming that they had a right to go onto the Capitol and take some of the senators and congressmen prisoner, hostage. You decide. Now, be a pro and a con. Macbeth was right, Macbeth was wrong to want to be king. Second one, Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet existed in a world that was full of hatred and anger and petty grievances and killings. One family, the Capulets, were warring against the other family, the Montagues, and these two represented lovers who didn't care about all of the warring. What they really wanted was to be sweethearts and to marry. You really want to see this displayed well in modern times? Watch the musical West Side Story, which is directly taken after Romeo and Juliet. Only there it's Tony and Maria are their names. So, were these two right to make a suicide pact that was fake and then escape and go somewhere else to live? Or were they wrong to try to escape in the first place? Were they wrong to try to make a place for them that was beautiful and wholesome, unlike their families with all their jealousy and petty thievery and murders? One side says, yes, they were right to want to make a place and be together, and the other side says they should have tried to work it out in a different way. Debate, pro and con, pro and con. The suicide pact they made was supposed to be fake, but unfortunately it came true and both of them ended up dead. D-E-D, not D-E-A-D, D-E-D. Final, no questions, final answer, no questions asked, dead. Okay. Lord of the Flies. Where is Lord of the Flies? Who is Lord of the Flies? Well, you could say it was the pig's head, and that there was a group of boys that became aggressive and made war on the other boys. Or you could say it was a game that they made up. It wasn't a game. Lord of the Flies was the pig's head. Lord of the Flies was inside us. Everybody has a dark place that we have to take care of. Otherwise, it eats the world. Otherwise, the dark place eats the world. When Ralph is rescued on the beach by military men, on the mainland, there was World War III going on, the same as what's going on that island. Lord of the Flies is the devil, and the devil is inside us. We have to take care of that. We have to parent that. We have to guard for that so that we don't find ourselves ruled by rage, anger, and wanting to be king all the time. Like the fisherman's wife who wanted to be queen of the universe and ends up being in a shack. Okay, and there's a name for that. It's called hubris, but we won't get into it right now. That's debatable. Did these boys have overweening pride or hubris, as they say in Greek times? Or did these English boys really just want to make a government that didn't work out? Pro and con. Yes, Lord of the Flies was something that didn't work out and it was a pig's head. con, no Lord of the Flies was inside us and we have to guard against it. And lastly, picture poem. Picture poem. If you take these words in any order and put them into phrases, you'll have a poem. When the rainbow spoke to the wise owl, it rained. It rained a song. The song grew by the grass, and the walls of the grass howled like the owl, like the wise owl, and searched the dawn. I'm just making that up. You put these words in boxes and you can make all kinds of poems by just putting them in a different order. For example, it rained, it comes down on the ground, grass, walls. The song is like a wise owl, the sound of the rain, and it makes a rainbow once and again. We can keep doing that over and over and have all kinds of different poems just from one picture poem. We can do this in creative writing in a secondary English class, secondary meaning high school English class. This is Andrea Allig saying, see you next time.